I don't give a fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're gonna
bring the whole fucking army. I don't give a fuck.
This make you feel? Huh? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
feel?
Is
that the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
scratches?
I got scratches. I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're gonna
I don't give a fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're gonna
bring the whole fucking army. I don't give a fuck.
This make you feel? Huh? You're filming my father.
So this guy's stalking this girl, and she moved to get away from him. I've moved twice to get away from Charles Perry. This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. Hang on.
You're my fucking sister.
It's August 29, 2023, and yep, we're still having this problem. So I left Lubbock in 2013, November, moved to the Dallas area. And Mr. Perry started butting into stuff that didn't concern him, talking to friends and family, neighbors, stalking me, talking to my coworkers, talking to my boss. And so I left Texas in September 2014, came home to Oklahoma where my family is, to be with my family, have no further contact with Charles Perry, no further contact with anybody from Lubbock, really. And no conflict, no drama, no problems, no conflict. So why is Charles Perry always in Oklahoma taking pictures of me where I live? It's not illegal to walk in and out of your house. Why do you know where I live? I haven't gotten an email for months. I hear that you're stealing my mail. That is a federal crime. So why all of a sudden am I not getting mail, Mr. Perry? Butt out of stuff that's not your business. Listen, I don't care what you and your little creepy club friends think of me. I don't like you. I don't think you guys are sexy. I don't think you guys are smart. I don't think you guys are hot. I think you guys are creepy. I think you're fucked up. I think you're deranged, depraved, demented, dark souls. You're nothing attractive. You're nothing I want. So my guys tell me today, the one guy said, I want her family to go to her and tell her that I've got a Buick Enclave for her, I've got a house for her, I've got a job for her, and she won't have to live in the streets anymore. I'm not living in the streets right now, but they know where I am. It's not a mansion, and they shouldn't know where I am, should they? It's not like I called them and gave them my address. These people are stalking me. I actually have a protected address that the state gives us because of the Rebecca Schaefer thing where she had a stalker. The stalker hired a PI. So he actually went through some professional avenues and got her address, showed up at her house, and shot her dead. After that, they began to give women who are victims of domestic violence, stalking being one of them, it is a felony in the state of Oklahoma. Felony. Peeping is a felony. Hacking is a felony. It's a cybercrime, sir, Mr. Perry. Cloning phones, trafficking women, false imprisonment, kidnapping, coercion. Very, very serious criminal activity you're into. You're in deep. And most victims don't know that they've been sold. That's a bribe, sir, by the way, whoever said that. Also, by the way, I told you not to contact my family, and you did it anyway. We're really getting angry at the roller coaster, the emotional roller coaster you have my family on, because we told you not to contact my family, did we not? And so my guys make you pay. What he told you in March 2020 is Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You're not to contact her or her family or anybody she knows. You don't need to. Not directly, not indirectly, not in any form at all. And you get your hands out of her wallet and stop taking her money and stop making it where she can't find a job. And then try to get her fired from a job if you do let her get one. Get your hands out of her wallet. Mind your business. Respect the law. Respect her rights. Because if you don't, I'm going to collect a shit ton of intel and evidence. I'm going to push you guys away for the rest of your lives. And after that, we got your names, we got code words, we got almost every conversation you've had every fucking day since 2020, but we had it before that. Because you were told not to do that. And you did it anyway. And you know, when you do the crime to me, nothing happens except you get caught. And you do it anyway. So we have no reason to believe that's not just what you want. I don't take bribes. I'm raised by police. I'm on the opposite side of you. I'm against you. I was called in to help you get elected, so the guys that told me you said that, and that you have my family on an emotional roller coaster, and that you were already told repeatedly not to contact my fucking family. They said that, that you were talking about bribing me. Coercion is a crime. Once I said no to you, that's the end of it, right there. That is the fucking end of it. Mr. Perry types in my phone, we need to talk. No, you need to talk. And you've been talking. You never shut up. You want to say how you feel. You want to say what you think. You want to say what you want. And we said no. You never shut up. You've made your point, sir. The answer's no. Everything after that is coercion. You're causing great duress for me. You're causing great duress for my family. First, he starts out by threatening me with starvation. I'm going to starve you till you lie. And it's been false arrest for years. I'm going to find a way to false arrest you. And then my guys get a recording of them actually talking about it. Can we get her on this? Can we get her on that? Can we do this? Can we false arrest her? Set her down and tell her, we always, somebody goes against us, we false arrest them, they get convicted, you'll be like Mike Neely. We're going to do the same thing to you that we did to Mike Neely. Thank you for the admission of guilt. We've been saying, perjury, suborning perjury, witness tampering, well, RICO Act violation after RICO Act violation after RICO Act, and you just do it and don't think anything of it. But it's been different when you do it to me. We find out before, not after. My family has not come to me and talked to me, but I understand that you discussed having them come talk to me and tell me. You discussed, should we have her Uncle Corky do it or her cousin Craig? Go tell her, you have to leave the state of Oklahoma. You don't have a choice. They have a Buick Enclave for you. They've got a house for you, and you won't have to live on the streets. Here's the thing, and I said no anyway, didn't I? I don't take bribes from bitches like you. I don't take bribes from anything. You just committed a serious criminal act if you carry out that conversation. Talking about robbing a bank it's not a crime. But once you actually rob the bank, now it is. Not only that, if you got recorded talking about robbing the bank, they got you on premeditation. You didn't just drive by the bank and kind of, as you're sweating out bills, go, I'll randomly, on the spur of the moment, decide to rob this bank. Walk in and rob it. That's not premeditated. That's, if it is, it's barely. There might be some prosecutors that could make a case that it was, but it would be barely. But when you actually have a meeting, and you sit down and you plan harm and injury and loss to another human being that you know is a violation of the law, the laws are intended to protect us from that loss, you are now guilty of premeditated, malicious aforethought, malicious intent. You know it's a crime. You did it anyway. You know when you do the crime to me, you get caught at that stage, the planning stage. We get it before, not after. Right, Calvin? Right, Betancourt? Right, Blankenship and Desiree? Right, Lucius? Right, Sonjay, Geppetto, Beverly? Beverly, who's all worried about my shoes? Renee? Right? Larry, Tim, Greg? I've never met these people, but their names come up on police recordings. So, you know that, and you do it anyway. So how much more have we gotten since March 2020? I told you to stay the fuck away from my family. Which member of our family do we want to coerce her for us? Because we're a bunch of little girls who hide behind a skirt or a computer or her family. Wow. I thought you were big, tough criminals. We're like, oh my God. Oh my God. So Perry's threatening me. I'm gonna hurt your son. You love your son, don't you? So that threat's now duly noted for the record, and it pissed off a lot of people. We got a lot more intel out of that, sir, whether I type it up or not. So when you fucked with my grade, my school, my grade, who did that? Lucius, Larry? Something started with an L. Sometimes I'm not able to hear the whole. Sometimes they'll replay it for me if they have time. Sometimes they don't have time. So you call them and tell them fail her. What you did is you caused a reduction in my school loan money, and it delayed it by a month, which jammed up all kinds of people that I owe money to. I'm having to get a school loan to pay money that I should just be making every month. So they have a forensic accountant that's tabulating how much you've stolen from me. Coercion, grand larceny with intent to coerce, deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, interference with commerce with intent to coerce, interference with contracts with intent to coerce. And now you're gonna hide behind my family? Are you shitting me? And you've had them on an emotional roller coaster? You want one of them? Should we have her cousin Craig or her uncle Corky go tell her, you have to leave Oklahoma. You don't have a choice. You have to go with them. They have all this great stuff for you. Right, and I'll have to be doing sex acts that are disgusting. And I said no. I said absolutely not. By the way, make them take off their little dresses and come tell me to my face, and don't hide behind my family. Bunch of tough guy criminals. We're all tough guys. We run the state of Oklahoma. Do you? Do you run the state of Oklahoma? You run the whole state? Wow. Somebody told me there's a bunch of very wealthy businessmen in Oklahoma. They're doing this. They're the ones that they do run the state of Oklahoma, and they're all organized crime. And they'll frame you for a murder and get away with it. And I said, is that what happened with Mike Neely? He said, judging on the time frame between when you reported your car vandalism and his lack of injuries, probably so. I would say probably so. I can't tell you for sure, but I'd say the chances are high. And now they're threatening to do that to you. I said they are. He said they usually just do it. They usually don't threaten at first. They usually just do it. I said, well, they threatened it, but I have help. So this is something we've talked about for some time, that they were trying to do that to me. He goes, oh, do you? That might be why you're not dead. Because really, normally, you're just a little bug they'll flick off. You'd be out in some oil well, abandoned oil well, dead. They'll kill you and not think twice about it. And I said, well, I have help. I have help. They have tried a couple times, at times when the help couldn't get to me, and so it would compromise a whole big investigation. It's a need to know for a reason, Mr. Perry. And you're not entitled to information. You're not entitled to it. I know you get up every morning and you think you're a little princess and everybody's supposed to worship you and you're entitled to this and you're entitled to that. And you know, somebody complained about that a few days ago. All those guys think they're entitled. I can sit here and talk. I really fucking wish they'd just shut up. You don't know the anger and the animosity that was developing against you guys before I ever got here. Okay, so I have help, and that help can tell me what you say 98% of the time before you do it. Right? You don't have a Fabian puzzle. You don't even have a Fabian. You don't have my guys' names. We have your names. I just said them. Blankenship, Desiree, Lucius, Sonjay, Beverly, who's all worried about my shoes, Renee, Bencourt, Greg, Tim, who's a pilot. He said a lot of these guys are pilots. Right? Pilot. I'm gonna kidnap her, throw her ass in my car, in my plane, turn the transponder off so nobody can figure out where we landed. Gotcha, Tim. Gotcha. And so you have Charles Perry to thank for that. He brought the heat on you. Perry comes up to Sepulpa and tells people. I'm dancing at Lady Godiva's one night, And this guy comes in and he tells me, I didn't know him. He goes, I have to talk to you about something. I said, what is it? And he goes, that guy from Texas, that hobbit-looking dude, that senator, yeah, he came up here and introduced your son as his stepson. And your son looked like he wanted to barf. And I felt so bad for him. Like he's gonna need fucking therapy. You could tell it was disturbing for him to have that happen. And there was nothing he could do, and there was nothing I could do. I so badly wanted to help him, and I couldn't do a thing. Because if I piss this guy off and he hurts you, because he's hurt you bad already. And if he hurts you again, like he already has, I would feel terrible. And I said, and that's exactly why I've known about this for a little bit. That's exactly why I have not talked to my son about it. I've not asked him about this. I've heard about it. You're not the first person to tell me. I'm sorry that this is happening, that he has come up here, and that he's making everybody so uncomfortable. And we're working on it. And he said, I feel sorry for you. I've seen what he's done to you. It's heinous what this guy's done to you. And I can't wait to the day that you get to live your life without him bothering you. I really can't. We've watched you struggle and make it through, and struggle and make it through one horrible thing after another that he's done, and have a good attitude, and it gives us hope. I want you to know you're giving us hope. And I want you to know that we pray that we want to see what you can do with him not holding you back like he does, and trying to ruin you all the time. He's always trying to ruin you. And I feel like he's just sick. I feel like he's just a sick, twisted individual. And God have mercy on his soul. And I said, at the time I was really upset. He's messing with my kid. And I said, let me tell you something. They cannot make hell hot enough for that guy. God is merciful, but if it were me, can't make hell hot enough for him. For someone like that does the sick, fucked up things he's doing. Things that you and I can't even imagine. And he said, well, I'm sorry you couldn't do more for your son, but I wanted you to know that he's doing that. Not only that, but he told all those people, I'm going to get Cindy pregnant. We're going to get married and I'm going to get her pregnant. And everybody wants to barf. How sick. What a sick, twisted little fuck that would say something like that. How gross. How absolutely nasty and gross. And what a betrayal to Jacqueline, Jordan, and Matthew, your family, that you would have the audacity and the sickness and the demented, depraved mind to come up to my place where I live and tell people something that disgusting. And so some of those guys in Sepulpa said, he says weird things about Cindy, very concerning, weird things that no normal person would think of, much less actually say. And so I think he's got women locked in a basement somewhere, and the guy who said that was not wrong, was he? You have that, but it's at a house that is a compound south of Houston, Texas, where the FBI in Houston needs to get in there and extract those women and those children. Some of them are Charles Perry's children. They're not there willingly, and Mr. Perry has a very bad habit of thinking he gets to speak for someone else. He does not. If those women and those children cannot come and go from that place as they want to, whenever they want to, however they want to, and see whatever people they want to see, including their families that they have left. Some of them were probably vulnerable and their families left them. That might be the case with some of them, but it's not the case with all of them, especially if Natalie Holloway is there. And the reason we think she is you were recorded talking about her. You were recorded talking about Natalie Holloway. Are they going to find out about Natalie Holloway? My guy goes, whoa! This one is new. We have not heard this before. Son of a bitch. If she's there, this is huge. This is huge. And I was like, yeah. He goes, I want you to post right now that we're going to extract that girl. So I did. I on Facebook. They're going to extract her. The next thing we know is we're getting a reaction, which we wanted. That's exactly why we did that. Maybe we should move her. If they go in there, is she going to remember she's Natalie Holloway? She hasn't gone by Natalie Holloway for years. 20, 30 years. So, what's going to happen? So you're talking about her. Our guys that get you talking about my family. Have her family go tell her she doesn't have a choice, because we're a bunch of little girls who wear little skirts. They match. We all wear matching little skirts. And we hide behind family. We're big tough criminals who hide behind a skirt and family and a computer and a phone. And you're shitting us with this, right? You're shitting us with that. So remember, I'm from Vegas. Remember, everything's different when you do it to me. Remember, I have a completely different mindset than anything you guys have seen before or ever had to deal with before. A whole different way of thinking, a whole different mindset. And you're seeing things you've not seen before. And as much as it's been an absolute holy hell for me to have to live with the wrath and the crime that you impose on me and my family, as horrible as that has been, there's not a day that goes by that I don't go, thank you, God, that you chose me for this. Here am I, send me. This is a mess. God wants to clean up the mess. He hates it when people suffer, especially women and children. We don't oppress the poor. We don't oppress women and children. We don't take a life. We don't go into court and bear false witness. We don't pay everybody a little something and hope they'll shut up and then threaten them if they don't. That's not a civilized society, is it? It's certainly not Christian, and that's what you guys go around. Oh, I'm a church-sticking, happily married, Christian, God-fearing sex pervert, right? Is that what you are? Oh my God. So, I mean, my granddad went through something when he was the police chief. One of the city council members was having an affair with the dispatcher, and so he went and said, listen, you got to cut this the hell out. You're taking up police business time. And you're married. So this is not cool. And you're going to cut it out. Well, that guy then starts smearing my granddad in the news. He's incompetent. And we're going to have to form a committee within the city council to take over the police department in Roswell, New Mexico. And so they tried. They did. There's like all kinds of articles, just horrible negative press about my granddad. But I'm going to tell you what, look at this. Alright, Mr. Kunzweiler, I know you listen to these because Charles cries and goes to you with this little tissue and, oh, she's bullying me. She's right, maybe FBI George and FBI Keith too, I don't know. She's bullying me. Okay, yeah. Listen, okay, here's my example. This is my family legacy. It is not for sale. You can't pay me enough. Sure as shit can't go, here's your Buick Enclave. Here's your house in Houston. Here's your realtor's job. Now, suck my dick. And I'm sorry to be vulgar, but I'm talking about criminal activity, and that's part of it. That's what trafficking women is. Sex trafficking and human trafficking. That's what those girls have to do. They get raped. There's no love. They're not attracted to these men. These men are disgusting and repulsive. It doesn't go two ways. They're forced. Like they've been trying to force me. You cannot eat. You can dig out of a dumpster, David Robertson says almost every day. Make her dig out of a dumpster. Right, Calvin? You do the same thing. She just ain't broke enough yet. How much am I worth digging out of a dumpster, Calvin? Because Mr. Perry goes around telling anybody who will listen, if I can't get her delivered, I'm going to lose millions. Because I promised delivery. So I have to deliver her to the guy who's a realtor and wants her to be his slave, selling real estate with him, and suck his dick and let everybody screw her that he says. Ugh, gross. I'm not impressed with you guys. I don't think you're hot and sexy. I don't think you're smart. And none of you are bait. Sure shit not Charles Perry. The Hobbit, we call him the Hobbit. So I don't think you're hot and sexy. I don't think you're smart. I don't think any of you are interesting. I think you are all repulsive. So none of you are bait. And so yeah, my answer is no. And don't dare fucking hide behind my family, you fucking big bully criminal. At least have the balls to say it to my face. And you're gonna have to yell it across the parking lot, because if you get too close to me, I will beat the fuck out of you. And then you got Tulsa police having a domestic violence call, only I'm the one doing the beating up. And believe me, I can. Your balls will be in your brain so fast you won't know what hit you. I promise you. So, this is Granddad. This is my family legacy, not for sale. He's the chief of police in Roswell. And his name, see that? To this day is right there on the front door of that police department. Guess what the other guy's name was that put him through hell? And he never apologized, Mr. Kunzweiler. My granddad never said he was sorry. He laid down the law. We're professionals in this police department. We're here to make people safe. We're here to keep bad things from happening to them. We're here for the citizens. We're servants, powers in service. We're not here to come in here and screw each other's wives and stuff. And you're not doing that here. And I'm not going to apologize to you because I hurt your feelings. What I'm going to tell you is you're going to cut it the hell out. Well, this guy goes and smears Granddad's name all in the news media. He's an incompetent police chief. The city council's going to have to form a committee and take over the police department, and they did, and he resigned. And then years later, look at that. L.M. Hall, that's my granddad. His name's on the front door of that police department. The other guy, nobody remembers his name. I couldn't tell you his name if I had to. Yeah, that's what God does. God honors people who do the right thing because that's the right thing to do, even when it's hard. Even when you got fucking mafia coming at you, threatening you with death and false arrest and starvation every fucking day. David, how much am I worth if I'm eating out of a dumpster? Because you know good and well I will do it. I'm worth millions only if you, I'm sorry. Mr. Perry said, if he can't deliver, he's going to lose millions. And we're all going, oh, boo fucking who for you? Here's the tissue. Call maybe your mom cares, because we fucking don't care. You're trying to sell a person into being raped every day. Yeah, you don't get to do that, not in the United States of America. We live in a civilized society. The laws are to protect us from monsters like you. Mr. Kunzweiler, a society is defined by what it does with the monsters among us. That means you, sir, you're defined by what you do with the monsters in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's your job. We expect excellence. We expect it. We get the law enforcement we demand and insist on. Kennedy said, I think Bobby Kennedy. Yeah, we know the mafia loves the Kennedys. We knew in Vegas a long time before anybody else kind of really come out and said it, that the mafia killed JFK and Bobby. Because, what's his name? The dad. Kennedy, Joseph Kennedy, went and got Jimmy Hoffa and all those guys. We need you to get my kid elected. So they did. They even bought votes. They even bribed people to vote Kennedy. So Kennedy wins. Bobby comes into office, and I guess they decide we've got a stigma where it looks like we're affiliated with a mob. And we can't have that. So let's put him in jail. Bad thing to do. Bad idea. They really should not have done that. There's other ways to, their dad did use the mafia to get them in office. So in Vegas, you can't do that. So and then try to put them all in jail. So that's what they did. He starts holding hearings. He gets Jimmy Hoffa in front of the congressional whatever, and next thing we know, they're both dead. And Giancana, Marchiello, and Trafficking say they did it, and I believe them. But that was the talk in Vegas. That was just kind of common knowledge in Vegas, even before they start saying it a little more on some of the documentaries we've heard more recently. Because, it's just Oswald. Well, but Oswald had connections to the mafia. Also, there was about 3 or 4 people who had interest in killing those two as well. You had Cuba, you had Russia, you had, what do you think Oswald had? His uncle raised him. His uncle's working in the mafia. He's trying to go to. He's connected with Russia and Cuba, and he's the hitman. Anyways, okay, so you got. I'm not seeing that big tough mafia. That's interesting. I'm seeing pussies who want to hide behind my family, and I guess you guys are all. You're killing people. You're raping women. You killed a cop. And you're mad. You think everybody's supposed to feel sorry for you because you get called a pussy because you want my family to come tell me. You have to leave Oklahoma. You're catching their crime too much and they don't like that. They don't like that. And your people won't call them back. You guys are not worth their time. You're just not. What he said in March 2020 is, Cindy's privacy is not to be invaded. You don't contact her or her family. Not in any way, shape, or form, not directly or indirectly, and get out of the way. Because if you don't, we're going to make you pay with evidence and intel, and we're going to use that evidence and intel to put you away for the rest of your lives. And that's that. It's not up to me, guys. It's up to them. It's not, and I don't want to help you. We all want y'all gone. Nobody invited you here, Charles. And these guys that are mafia in Oklahoma or whatever, I would know who they were if it weren't for you. Wouldn't know, wouldn't care. And I think I said that to David in a text. Here's what I'm hearing, David, is there's some corrupt police around here who are in the back pocket of your local mafia, whatever. I don't know, and I don't care. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I didn't come up here to mop up. I want to be left alone. I came to Oklahoma to hang out with my family and otherwise be left the fuck alone. You're picking a fight with someone that will kick your ass. And there's nothing I can do to help. I won't help you. No one wants to help you. Maybe it's time. What you could have done is just left me alone. You chose not to, so you're big boys. You can live with your choices, right? Can't you, Charles? There's nothing sexy about you. Whatever delusion and bullshit you sit around and tell yourself all day, it's only real to you. It's not real to me in any way, shape, or form. You're just some whack job who can't control himself, has no grasp on reality, is suffering from a disease called Huntington's disease that causes delusion, psychosis, paranoia, hallucinations, and impaired cognitive reasoning. And I think you got Alzheimer's too, because we have to repeat ourselves all the time. And get a nurse to help write it down. The reason we do sometimes these recordings, you can just replay the recording. And then I don't have to say the same thing for you over and over and over. And it still goes right over your head. It's just embarrassing. I guess my guy's like, you know what? They had a meeting the other day. And I can't tell you really a lot of specifics on this right now. We can't share that with you. That needs to be private right now. But there was a female in that meeting that put her hand on her forehead and looked down and was whispering, please stop talking. Please stop talking. Please shut up. Please stop talking. Please stop talking. Please stop. When Mr. Perry was talking, because he didn't even make sense. And she about died. It embarrassed the hell out of her. So your disease is showing. People are starting to be able to tell. It's not Tourette's. You got something affecting your mind. And you don't even make sense. So you sit there and you bullshit yourself and you look like a buffoon. And we feel embarrassed for you. We feel embarrassed for all of you. Because we're quoting you every day. You're not quoting our meetings. We're quoting your meetings. You're not naming our people. We're naming your people. We have a Fabian puzzle. You don't even have a Fabian. And y'all run around, how did she find out about that? Oh my God, how did she know? How'd she find out? How did she know about that? When you do the crime to me, you get caught. It's different when you do it to me than any of the victim, but it's the same every time you do it. We get the information before, not after. And we've been saying that and showing you and saying it and showing you day after day for a decade, Mr. Perry. That's an awfully long time to be so mentally slow. You're just running around in circles. You just look like a fucking idiot. And nobody's going to help you. No one will help you. He's every fucking day. Is it this guy telling this today? Is it Jordan? Is Jordan leaking? I'm like, Once again, I am not told who your leaks are, and I don't care. It's a need to know, and I don't need to know that. I don't need to know if they get the information from a wiretap order of some sort, or an electronic surveillance, or other kind of surveillance, or a leak, or an informant. I don't need to know that, so I'm not told that. I don't even care. What I care about is the guy said, stop bothering her. Get the fuck out of her life. Or I'm going to kick your ass harder than it's ever been kicked before in your life. That's a metaphor, Matt. That's a metaphor. So he has. Right? Okay, so here's... this is a whole wall, whole room in Roswell Police Department in Roswell, New Mexico that has... look at that. And who's the guy that hurt him? That made him resign? No one knows. Can't remember his name. Who is it, Charles? You want to be so important. You're so desperate to matter. You want to just be important and have power and matter. You and Matt Powell. And you were just like, oh my God. Oh my God. And you'll step on your grandmother's head if that gets you your power and you matter. How many times does Mr. Powell call up here? Do we have her whereabouts? Is that her? Can we say it for sure? Is that her? Today he's at. We got him on wire today. Is that her? Can we say for sure that's her? Oh, for God's sake, get a fucking life. Get a fucking life. You want to matter. Okay, listen to. I'm going to tell you how to matter. Power is in service to other people. Okay? You want to matter? That's what you do. You find people that you can make their day happy and their day blessed and their day good. And you don't say a word about it. Next thing you know, God himself will honor you. And you won't have to do a damn thing. He'll elevate you. He'll take care of it. Like he did my granddad. My granddad now, I'm watching National Geographic. We've talked about the alien things. We've joked about the alien things. He's now deceased. I'm watching National Geographic and they're talking about him on the Roswell UFO thing. Granddad and I, for reasons I can't really get into, but neither one of us believe aliens even exist, much less that they landed in Roswell. Okay? He was working, he was there. He's got an affidavit. The affidavit, if you read it, doesn't really say anything. This is kind of benign. The goal, he was a Roswell City Councilman when they established the museums, was to bring money into Roswell because it's a curiosity thing, right? I'm watching the congressional hearings. Guess what the guy said about Roswell? I can't talk about it. That's what we said. I can't talk about it. So there's that. But guess what? Now he's internationally known as that, and nobody remembers the guy that gave him shit. But the main thing that my granddad was known for is relieving suffering caused by crime, maybe making victims feel safe. You're safe now. We caught your bad guy, we slayed your dragon, and he won't hurt you again. So that's the job of law enforcement. Cops have one job. One job. When you get up in the morning, your one job is to relieve suffering caused by crime. And there's nothing else you need to do all damn day but that. You don't harass citizens. You don't target citizens and try to intimidate them for the mafia, the sex traffickers, or anybody. And I guess one cop that we heard of got asked to pull me over. I get pulled over a lot. There's a list. TPD is concealing the list. So it's not just a Brady violation, TPD. It is intentional concealment of a material fact that could change the outcome, which the RICO Act defines is perjury. So there's that. I put that in my brief. Nobody argued against it, oddly. Nobody said a word. Not your city prosecutors, not Jerry Bender. Nobody filed shit arguing that it's not suborning perjury. I mean, that it's not perjury and that the list is not a Brady violation. The list isn't exculpatory and it's not a Brady violation. Nobody argued that. So I'm just going to say that. The second motion to dismiss that I filed, because the city prosecutor didn't argue fuck, that I did. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. He's an attorney, I'm not, but I know when I argue on the grounds of Brady violation and he argues on the grounds of insufficient evidence. It's not the same thing. That's not the right argument. I'm not sure what case he was. So I file a second motion to dismiss. Nobody responded, so right there's the dismissal. Right, Mr. Bender? Right, Mr. Koonsweiler? Anyways, my granddad, people gave him shit because he did the right thing and he didn't ever back down and he didn't apologize. And he did say, if you want to run the police department, have at it. I resign. I'm going to go on with my life. I've got other stuff to do. And he did. And now his name's on the wall, on the front door. Because he believed that if you want to be powerful, you serve people. You don't bully. You don't harass. You don't intimidate. You don't bribe. You don't steal. You don't oppress. You give. You lift. Okay, here's the other thing is, if everybody's heard me say, a man's kindness brings blessings, but his cruelty will be his downfall. Right? We get to help with the information, not you. You can't quote one meeting, you can't name one guy that's helping me, can you? No, you cannot. Blankenship, Desiree, Lucius, Calvin, Muffin Man. Who's the nickname Muffin Man? Larry, Lawrence, Andrew, Greg, Tim, Oscar, Bruce, Beverly, Kate, Renee, Monique. Oh fuck, who's Monique? Everybody about shits themselves when I say that one. There's Richard Dickey, Bedencore, Sonjay, the hacker, Geppetto, your witch. Right? Okay. Well, name one of my guys. Oh shit, you can't. Nobody wants to help y'all. They want to help us. A man's kindness brings blessings. His cruelty will be his downfall. People don't like cruelty. They don't like creepy. They don't like bad guys. They don't like suffering. They don't like hardship. So I've been told, if I don't be trafficked, I'm eating out of a dumpster. And I'm like, well, you just told people if you can't deliver, you're going to lose millions. So I'm worth millions. How much am I worth if I'm eating out of a dumpster? David Robertson, because you know good and well, I'll do it. I lived in my car for 6 months. I ate once or twice a week. I took a bath once or twice a week. Calvin. So, you know good and well I'll do it. Because it's not going to be too long. My guys are putting you in jail and we're done. It's over. Everybody's sick of y'all. They hate you. We're getting the information before, not after. Right? Don't y'all run around, how did she know about that? How did she find out? Oh my God. Every day, right? Every time Charles contacts me, we get more. It pisses me the fuck off. I said, don't contact me. I don't care what you think, whack job. Did I ask you? Oh, fuck, no, I did not ask you. We're all sick of hearing what you think. He's like, we gotta talk. No, we don't. You need to talk. And you never shut up. And I've said no. I've said no to your threats. I've said no to your bribes. No to your coercion. Shut the fuck up and get out of here. I said no. And everything after that is coercion. There's nothing about any of you that I find attractive. None of you are bait. My goal is to respect and honor Granddad's legacy, and if I die penniless, I'm gonna die with that. You wanna murder me? I get that. We all get that. I'm not going down without a fight. We all get it. You can pull up wherever I am, anywhere I am, cap my ass, and that's it. But everyone would know you did it. And I died fighting against you. They would know that. Everyone would know that. You've already called every police department in the fucking planet. Is it you? Are you helping her? Are you telling her what we say? Did you tell her Mike Neely was drugged? Were you helping her? I'm a fucking legend. You know what? You know what cops hate? Cop killers. Cops hate cop killers. They may say that to your face. They may not. The one guy that was asked to pull me over, I know what he was told is they want her pulled over. Perry has an affidavit. It's a lie, recanting her testimony she's had for 10 years. in every court case there is, on the docket. He wants to make her sign that under duress. You pull her over, you cause the duress, you tell her she has to sign it. Or call him in and he'll tell her. And the guy was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Isn't he mentally ill? Doesn't she know about this already? She does. She knows about it. She's talked about it. She's talked about it a lot. She said no. Okay, what disease does he have? Huntington's or something? It makes him wacky. Yep. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing that. This is a very bad decision made by a mentally ill man. I'm a cop. My reputation's on that. And I'm not putting my reputation on that bad decision made by a mentally ill man who has no cognitive reasoning. He's not able to reason out, this is not what we do. This might be what you do in Iraq. This is not Iraq. We have a civilized community. We have a civilized society. We just don't act like that. Not doing it. He goes, you may not have a choice. He goes, I'm a cop. I do. I have a choice. I'm not doing it. Call one of the stupid ones. I'm not doing it. So, we love that guy. I don't know who he is. I'm not told who I'm listening to. But I love that guy, whoever he is. He's my hero. There's a couple of people that have argued for me at times when I wasn't able to eat. You gotta let her make money so she can eat. You gotta do it. Quit trying to starve her. Quit doing that. It's not helping a thing. Don't do shit like that to her. Don't do it. This abusive cruelty that you have, stop it. Just stop. It's not helping anything. Thank you. If ever I get to hug your neck, believe me, I'll hug your neck. But the rest of you, you're whack jobs, you're delusional, we're embarrassed for you. We quote you, you're not quoting us. I want you to write that down. They are quoting us, they're naming our people, and we can't say that. We know about the Houston compound and Tim's transponder and Natalie Holloway conversations. You know why? Because you pissed off people with a whole lot of power fucking with my grade. Fucking with my grade. Okay? When you take from me, when you contact me, when you take my privacy, what happens, Charles? Yeah. We get a lot more intel out of that because you piss people off that have a lot of power. Piss off a leak. Sometimes our guy said there's a couple of people that they may kind of feel like they're maybe under some suspicion, so they'll kind of back off a little bit, and then they'll hurt you really bad, and now they're just pissed. Next thing we know, they're walking in with names and shit. They're walking in with all kinds of crap. Because sometimes it's wise to not walk in with everything. They're kind of spoon feeding it. Sometimes not. He goes, I know you hate it when they take your home, or they take your car, or they wreck your car, or they say some bullshit in court. It's not true. Or they, cause you to lose money, or they fuck with your family. I know that upsets you, and it pisses you the hell off. You sleeping in your car, then they take the car, and you can barely eat. I know you hate that, but I'm going to tell you something. If you can handle it, it's pissing people off bad. The cruelty they're doing to you. So we're getting a shit ton of intel out of that. Can you handle it? The judge asks, can she handle it? The judge always wants to know, the judge that signs off on investigatory orders, because you got to have probable cause, right? The leaks give us probable cause. And then some of those recordings that come from that give us more probable cause, right? Okay, so he's always asking, is Cindy okay to continue? Is Cindy okay to continue? So, you sure you want to piss him off fucking with me and my family? He knows about the roller coaster you've had my family on. That you want to use them to coerce. Because he hears the same shit we hear. You have to live with your choices, Charles. Yeah, you embarrassed the hell. We're embarrassed for you. The stuff that you guys sit around telling each other. We're like, wow, these people bullshit themselves. Like, we don't even have words for that. I'm embarrassed for you. All of you. Tell her she has to leave Oklahoma. She has no choice. Tell her cousin Craig and her Uncle Corky, you go talk to her. We're too scared. We're hard, mean, murderous, criminals. But we're too scared to talk to your cousin. Can you go talk to her for us? And tell her, tough guy, be tough guy. Tell her you have to leave Oklahoma. You don't have a choice. You have to be delivered. We promise people a lot of money. Once you're delivered and we get the money, then we got to give a bunch to all these people. Is my ex-husband on that list? I heard he was. We haven't confirmed that information yet, but we heard that he was very upset. He said she wanted me to put her car title in my name, and I told her no, I guess I should have. Then I will just go get her car, and that way you guys could get her delivered, get the money, and get me my money. Is this true? Again, that's not been confirmed. Why don't you confirm it? You confirm or deny that. Okay? I was like, wow, I don't even know what to say. This is the father of my son. I have no words for that. I don't know what to say to that. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, we get more information just like that. I found out I was trafficked beforehand. Most victims don't. When you contact me in any way, shape, or form, that's what happens. You are pissing people off. You were told, don't contact her, don't contact her family, don't invade her privacy, and stop taking her money. Okay, I've known these guys almost all my adult life, so they know exactly how much money I can make, Mr. Perry. You're not fooling them at all. You might fool everybody else, but you're not fooling them. They've known me a long time. Speaking of which, Mr. Powell, your little whining of she's ingratiated herself to these police who are tipping her off. Oh my God. Or they can just look at facts and draw a conclusion that a normal, reasonable, prudent individual could draw, sir. You're factually ignorant and you piss people off when you say shit like that. You don't even make sense. You guys hear the words coming out of your mouth? Okay, so Mr. Kunzweiler, this is my motivation right here, my granddad. Okay, so I don't have a problem walking up to really bad guys who fucking are so scared of me they want to hide behind a skirt or a computer or a phone or my family to threaten me. They're that scared of me. I'll walk right up to them and have a conversation. You're sicko and you stop. Look what we can do. We're doing stuff you've not seen before, motherfucker. I think you need to leave everybody the hell alone. Why don't you take your crime over to Texas? They like it there. We don't like it here. We don't like it here. You take your crime and you go to Texas with it. They're okay with it. We're not. Especially not when you do it to the granddaughter of a police chief. We're all like, what were they thinking? Granddaughter of a police chief. 4 generations of police. My dad was a police officer. My granddad is Chief Hall. My great-granddad was captain of detectives. My great-great-granddad was a Texas marshal and a judge and a chicken farmer. Back when they did like everything. Right? He's the doctor. He's the horseshoer. Yeah. It was like that back then. So he's the doctor. He's the horseshoer. And he's the, the cotton picker guy. I mean, I don't know. They just like had 5 different things they could do back then. So he was the judge. He was the Texas marshal, and he was a chicken farmer in Rochester, Texas. I want to say. So we have law enforcement going way back, Mr. Perry. I don't know what the hell you thought you were doing, picking on a cop's granddaughter. When you contact me, you fuck, you get caught. We get more because I hate it. I fucking hate your sicko slimy contact. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what you think. I really don't care. We're all sick of you and we're hearing about your whining and, oh, she called me a name. You brutalized my life. You've tried to starve me to death. You've sold me. You've killed a cop. You framed one and tried to kill, when he didn't die, you tried to kill him too. An Oklahoma policeman. You don't live in Oklahoma. And nobody invited you here. You came up here and you did that. And if you think you people don't know, you are off your nut. You're dumber than we all thought. They know. Absolutely they know. Okay, people hate guys that do shit like that hurt women and children and kill cops. Hate your guts. We have no problems getting the information. We're getting the help with the information, not you. We get the help with the information. We have for 10 years, every fucking day, all fucking day long. You're the ones running around going, how did she find out? How'd she know about that? Our guys don't say that. They're not calling around asking about who's leaking. We don't ask those kind of questions. When you contact me, you sick fuck slime, it's gross. You're gross. You're nasty. You're sick. And I don't care what you think. Don't contact me. We always get more out of that in your Peep and Tom problem. Why didn't you account for the court, all the courts that you like going into? Judge Kirkendall already made a ruling. Quit provoking. Because it's entrapment. Quit trying to blow up her life. And then come running into me and say, well, she told on us and called us a name. You killed the cop. We called you a pussy. You make threats to me and my kids, my family. So I called you a pussy. And that's the crime? You want everybody to feel sorry for you? You haven't lost your home. You've not lost anything. I've done without food. I've done without sleep. I've done without a bath. For the cause of justice. For this legacy my granddad left for me. And fuck you. Did you have the nerve to do something like that? And pretend like you're a victim. And I'll tell you what, that makes people so mad. We get a lot of shit out of that. A lot of intel comes out of that. Every time you guys run into court and act like you're the victim because you got called the name. Everybody's like, you're shitting us with this, right? Really? He's brutalized her life. He's not let her eat for days. Kicked out on the street. You took everything I had. Right? I didn't know Sky Motel any money. Nothing. You took, and they're like, and he's mad because she called them a pussy. The Miller kids are growing up without a dad, and Perry's the victim because she called him a pussy. You gotta be, you're kidding, right? You gotta be kidding, right? I don't even know what to say to that. I fucking don't know what to say to that. One of your guys, Mr. Perry doesn't want Cindy to know he's got Huntington's disease. He said, make sure she never finds out about that. And then he goes, I'm sick and tired of watching him pester her and torment her and torture her and try to ruin her. Let's make sure she finds out. We did. We found out. You happy? You asked for that. You asked for that. You're causing a lot of outrage, dumb. I mean, I'm sorry, but how dumb do you have to be to know that when you do the crime to this one certain person, you get caught every time? To keep doing it. You have to want to get caught. You have to. There's no way you don't. You have to want to get caught. My granddad's legacy is all that matters. If I have to drive penniless, fucking in and out of a dumpster, David, how much money am I worth doing that? But at least granddad's legacy's intact. I did not sell out. Charles, when you contact me, we get more. You just did it again. Is it your granddad? Charles, my granddad died in 2004, so no. This is how the crazy. Is it Medicare? Is it Russia? Who's helping you? Types that on my phone. Is it Jordan? Yes, if it was Jordan today. Wow. So whatever woman was in a meeting with you and you start saying bullshit that didn't make sense, embarrass the hell out of her, and she's like, please stop talking, please stop talking, please shut up, please stop talking, please. You're embarrassed the hell out of her. She was wanting you to stop. I think you need to get yourself in a butterfly net. You know, they have doctors to help guys like you with your disease. You need it. You need it. You don't make sense. It's awful. Okay, so imagine living like this, except, and this is like, Mr. Perry, we gotta talk! No, we are not gonna talk. We're not gonna talk. You never shut up. I've said all I have to say to you in these podcasts. My answer to you is no. I moved twice to get away from you, to have no conflict with you, to not have no problems, no drama, and you need to fuck off. You fuck off. And that's that. Nothing else needs to be said. I don't care what kind of contract you signed that was illegal. That is not my problem, bitch. You did that, you live with it. It's not my problem. You get anywhere near me, I'll beat the shit out of you. You hurt my family, my guys will handle it. And you will not like how they handle it. We're quoting you, dum-dum. Listen to the words I just said. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We repeat what you said. We are naming your people. It's not the other way around. You get confused about that. But you're not all there. It's unbelievable. So imagine somebody's doing this only they're in your phone. And watching you in the privacy of your home. She can at least go home and get away from this guy. I can't. It's constant terrorizing and terrorizing and terrorizing and terrorizing and terrorizing. I don't know people that Charles hired that watch me in my house, but I know I don't like you. Who the fuck does that? I've never consented, Charles. It is rape. You're just a fucking rapist. You can't get women to like you. You're sick. You're fucked up and you're sick. And we're all sick of dealing with it. You're an imposition and a burden everybody wants gone. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We're naming your people. You can't name ours. Our guys won't dignify you with a phone call because you're stupid and they don't have time. He says it once. Don't invade Cindy's privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And don't take her money. Get the fuck out of her life. Period. There's nothing else to say. You think you can talk everybody into doing what you want, and that is not the case this time. And we've already made that very clear. Your bribes rejected, your coercions rejected, your threats are duly noted for the record. Now you live with it. You're a grown man. Act like one. Okay, so this is the way I live with this every fucking day. I try to do something in my computer, he's typing in it. I type up an email, sometimes I'll go back and read it. It doesn't say anything like what I had. He's completely changed the content sometimes, or taken out a very important word. It's very frustrating. Or it's going off to people I don't want it to go to, or it didn't go to people I did want it to go to. Just fucking show the judge your schedule. Any judge, Parker, Egan, I don't care who you're in front of, show your schedule. Prove you're not doing what I say. Yeah, more than just witnesses, because you guys have already had a problem with, we just throw people up on the stand and tell them to say, oh, you just say this, or just say that. It's different this time though, isn't it? Yeah, y'all got bit in the ass on that one, didn't you? When you did it to me.
No. Leave me alone. I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you.
Okay, does she have a temper? No. Mr. Perry says I have a temper. Because I scream, yell, leave me alone? Get the fuck out of my house? Get the fuck out of my phone? Get the fuck away from me, weirdo? Weirdo. Don't contact me. You're creepy. You're fucking creepy. It's embarrassingly creepy. I lived in Vegas. You can't put your arm out and not touch a weirdo. They're everywhere in Vegas. None of them are as weird as you. They don't even get close. You're the weirdest of the weird. And how embarrassing for you. How embarrassing for you. We get the help, not you. We are getting the help. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. And you better fucking get that. Because you get mixed up about that, don't you? So embarrassing. Okay, so the terrorization is awful to live with. I don't have a temper. I'm sick of being raped. I'm sick of being raped by a weird fuck who's so sick and twisted, he does things normal people couldn't think up, much less do. Couldn't think up with a gun to their head. Nasty, slimy, demented bullshit imposed on me day after day after day. But oh my God, the intel we got out of that. It brought heat on all of you. Doing this bullshit right here. Does it look like if she turned around and said, "Get away from me, you weird fuck"? Is she a criminal or is he? No. She has said over and over and over and over, "Leave me alone. Leave me alone." I've moved twice. I took my son away from his friends, away from his teachers, away from his school. Twice. Started all over again. It's one thing if you do that for you, but to have to make the decision to do it for a child is very hard. But we needed to get away from you. Charles, you're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on. You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're rejected. You disgust me. We're getting help, not you. It's rape. You're not wanted. It doesn't go. I don't think you're sexy. I don't think you're hot. I don't think you're smart. I think you're stupid. I think you're fucked up. And I think you need to be in jail. Sooner rather than later. Stalking is a felony. Hacking, peeping. Sex crimes, Charles.
Please, God bless you.
Okay, there's your little weirdo club. And outside of that is everybody else that sees you like this. Remember, we get the help with information, you don't.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, "Let me talk to you for 2 minutes." Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, "Oh, it's just locker room talk." No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
That guy's been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break...
This make you feel... Well, I'm gonna...
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman's giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
Well,
That's okay, I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute?
Now, see the frustration with the need to repeat? And he comments on her clothes. No one asked him. So Mr. Perry types in my phone, I'm fine. I'm like, you're delusional because you're not fine. We have dug up all kinds of crime you hid all your life. And if you think you're fine, you're off your nut. You're not fine. And I don't care. Did I ask you? I did not. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you want. Everybody's sick of you. Nobody invited you here. I left. I moved twice to get away from you. Tried 11 times to file a protective order against you. Fuck off. Take your dress off. Act like a man and move the fuck on. You don't have a choice. As much as we quote you, why in the fuck? What kind of delusion are you in that you think you have a choice? You don't have a Fabian puzzle. You don't even have a Fabian. You don't have a cover-up. You spent millions of dollars buying us intel is what you did. You dumb son of a bitch. You don't get to commit crime against me and get away with it. Okay? I think I told Sepulpa Police I'm Chief Hall's granddaughter. I get that that may not mean something to you, but it will. Does it now? Does it now? Charles, you're fucked up mentally. You're demented. You're deranged. You disgust me. I don't like you. Whatever you feel, it's not real to me at all. You're delusional. You're whacked. Stop acting like a little girl. Be a man about it and move on. Get out of my fucking life. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. Nothing else happens but that. So you have to want to get caught, or you'd stop. You'd have to. And the need to repeat things, we can't wait till you're in jail and we don't have to repeat anything anymore. Never have I ever had to do that before. I've never had to explain a metaphor, analogy, snark, sarcasm. For y'all I do, because you're all slow. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. And then we gotta say the same thing over and over and over and over. We say it, then we show you. We say it, then we show you. We say it, then we show you. Right, Betancourt? Right, Calvin? Right, Sanjay? Right, Beverly? Who's worried about my shoes? It's pathetic. You are pathetic. Where's Jacqueline and Jordan Matthew? When you come to Oklahoma where you do not live and were never invited and do nothing but pester and bother and threaten and pester and bother and threaten all damn day and get caught in crime you hid all your life. How embarrassing for your family. Why are you humiliating your family like that? Huh? Is that the Jordan you were asking me about? Why are you humiliating your family? Chasing a woman who can't stand you. 11 times you had to buy your way out of court. And a protective order or an injunctive order or some sort of request that a judge make you fuck off. Who the hell does that? Who the hell is that pathetic? You can't figure out how to get women to like you because you're cruel and you're creepy as fuck. You're the creepiest fuck I've ever met in my life. Creepier than anybody in Vegas. By far. Hands down, you win that. You get the gold star on creepiest guy ever. And you embarrass the hell out of me. So I know you embarrass your family. You don't get to hide behind my family. Do not call Craig. Do not call Corky and have them come tell me you have to leave Oklahoma and they'll give you a Buick bribe. You are not going to ask my family to commit your crime for you. And my answer is no. I already know you did. That you. I don't know if you actually called Craig and Corky yet, but we know you talked about doing that and that you've had them on an emotional roller coaster. And I told you stay the fuck away from my family. So when you don't, we get more intel. And then y'all run around, how'd she find out about that? Oh my God. You asked for it. Did you not? When you do the crime to me, that's what happens. Nothing but that. Nothing but that. People do not like your creepy. They do not like your cruelty. There's your little world of weirdo, where y'all sit around and bullshit yourselves all day and embarrass yourselves. And then there's outside of that is everybody else. Why in the world does she have to say it? Why in the world does she have to say it more than once? Brooke Shields said, silly me, I thought when I told a man no, one time ought to do it. One time ought to do it. You heard of the Me Too movement? Everybody else is disgusted and horrified by the things you people do. You got your little club of weirdo, and you convince each other, you know, bullshit, 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 and we're all going, oh my God, wow. These people are true blue whacked. True blue whack jobs. The next Netflix special on why in the fuck would anyone do that? Why in the fuck? Everybody else is like this.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
To everybody else outside of your little weirdo group, your corporation of kooks, is everybody else who thinks you're a bunch of kooks and disgusted by all of you. So we're getting the help with the information and you're not. And it's been that way every day for a decade. And how dare you go into court and act like you're a victim. Call FBI George after we're all done here and tell him you're the victim of cyberbullying because I called you a pussy because you were abusing women, children, and you're a cop killer. George is not stupid. I hope he looked at Lucky's case and saw the obvious. You can't kill someone when you're dying of opioid overdose and you have not a mark on you. If Mike Neely killed Chief Miller 6 days after Mike Neely took my report on vandalism, at which time I listed no one as a suspect. What I said is, no one saw who did this. But the chances are high it's the stalker. These people stalking me. We're in court right now. You can pull it up and look at it. It's on the docket. I've asked for, in that lawsuit, a protective order. Now for like the 12th time. There should have been a hearing 14 days later. There wasn't. I'm going to have to, after you decide, was this them or somebody else, go in and ask again for like the 13th time. We'll see if Mr. Perry continues to buy his way out. Because once you do it once, it's kind of maybe hard to say it's collusion and corruption and illegal shit and judicial bribery and impropriety and all that. You know what? One of the reporters, Mr. Perry, I just want you to know this. When I filed the very first lawsuit, it landed, of all people, in a federal court of Judge Payne, who just so happens to be from Lubbock. What are the chances? So, a reporter said, Judge Payne, James Payne, I think was his name. It was a hard one because the judge was James Payne from Lubbock, Texas, of all places, in the North District of Oklahoma Federal Court. The magistrate was Jane. I can't remember her first name. Jody. Judge Jody Jane. Imagine saying that. Judge James Payne, Judge Jody Jane. It was a very confusing case with the judge names. Anyways, the judge said, Mr. Perry, of you and Judge Payne. Judge Payne is going to have to be extremely fair with Ms. Ortiz to avoid the appearance of judicial impropriety. Right off the bat, he's from Lubbock. This looks bad already. You think people are as dumb as you, and they are not. The second I filed that, and that got out to the media, sir, that was the response. I just want you to know. And you're the dumbest son of a bitch if you actually think nobody suspected a thing. They absolutely did. They absolutely did. Judge Payne is going to have to be extremely fair with Ms. Ortiz, because he's from Lubbock, Texas, where they're from, the defendants, in what appears to be an egregious violation of her civil rights. Blatant, flagrant, egregious violation of her rights to due process, equal protection, false imprisonment, Fourth Amendment, 14th Amendment, outrageous. This is the most outrageous thing I've seen. This guy couldn't get a date, so he's punishing her with a false arrest. She's got emails and texts about it long before he did it. He's threatening me with specifically false arrest and then coercion. We call that the McNamara email now. So he is going to have to show an extra measure of fairness, because already this looks bad. That of all the judges they got that one, who's from Lubbock, where Charles is from. My case, oddly, after the Pinto recording of him telling me at my work at Blue Diamond, which is now Cowboy Cabaret or some other, somebody bought it, I guess, in Stillwater, the guy Pinto comes into my work and offers me $5,000 to drop the lawsuit and sleep with Mr. Perry. Solicited prostitution. When I told a Payne County deputy about this, Charles, I wasn't at that time filing a police report. I didn't file one there. What I said is, I just want, the guy's Pinto. He says he's a Mongol. Typically, bikers are known to law enforcement. Have you heard of this guy? Do you know his real name? Do you know where he is? Do you know where he lives? Does he live in Stillwater? Does he live? And the guy, we had a conversation about it, and immediately he says, that's witness tampering. And that's the kind of cop I like. I don't have to finger paint it for him. He got it immediately. Yeah, that's witness tampering. I said, you think? Yeah. I've not heard of this one. I don't know. He gave me a couple of people a call. I decided not to call them. My guys are dealing with that one. Sometimes with the locals, we're like, fuck it. I give it to mom. The guy's helping me. They're handling all that shit, because the locals are just drop the ball. My guys are go-to guys. That's the kind of people we are. When there's a job to be done, we do it. We're go-to guys. You can trust us to get the fucking thing done. Done and done well. And there's none of this conversation like we had today. I don't know who it was. These guys don't tell me who I'm listening to. There's a reason for that. What he said is I guess today he said, Tulsa police, she's filed, 2-3 police reports with Tulsa police. Nobody took her evidence. Nobody collected it properly. There was no bag and tag it. Why didn't they talk to her? What in the hell was so hard about them just sitting down and just talk to her? Because Cynthia is nothing like what Perry told us she was. Nothing at all. He completely misled police as to what Cynthia Ortiz is all about. Her character, her goals, her priorities, her morals, her missions, and who she is. He lied about all that. And now we're figuring that out. So he's telling us we got to make her look crazy. Well, that's kind of hard to do because there's all this. I did say it before, not after you did it. The McNamara email was before, not after. Right, Charles? I did say Mike Neely was drugged before first responders were deposed and confirmed that. So that's not crazy, dipshit. You're something else with the lies you try to perpetrate upon the court. It's unbelievable. It's an insult to people's intelligence, and it pisses people off, just so you know. And you can't lie to people who are smarter than you, because they know you're lying, and for you, that's like everybody. Literally, everybody. You have a disease. The disease is causing impaired cognitive reasoning. You can't even do cause and effect, same and different before and after. You can't do it. So when you go around lying to people, they know you're lying, and you've insulted them. And Guess what else? A lot of people who are very intelligent, you're lying to them. It's not only insulting to their intelligence, but it's a waste of their time, and it pisses them off. I'm busy. Why aren't you? Why aren't you? You need to be busy working. You need to be busy with your family. You need to be busy with constituents. And not up here bothering me and my family. Day after day, just like him. He needs to be busy working. He needs to be busy. So when you go to people and you lie and you insult their intelligence and you waste their time, because we're all busy. We got work, we got family, we got school, we got shit to do. Why don't you? Get off your lazy fucking perverted ass and go work. And get busy. And then you don't need a lie. You promised people money. I'm going to have to deliver Cynthia to the man I sold her to. He's going to use her as a sex slave. And his realtor. And here she can have all this stuff. There's going to be a boat trip and then we'll shove her off of it. Or she's a floater in the bathtub. And this after she signs our lie. And this will all go away. And we can go back to criminal business as usual. Wrong. I'm not going to sign your lie. It's different when you do it to me. Get the information before. Who is getting it from you to me? You don't know. Who got me the Fabian puzzle? You don't know. Here's the other interesting thing. There's 4 people who had the opportunity and a reason to ask me, how did you get the information in the McNamara email? Before, not after. He did it. How did you get the Fabian puzzle in jail? How did you get the information that Mike Neely was drugged before the first responders confirmed he was drugged? They treated him with Narcan for opioid overdose because he was dying. Michael Neely was dying when they found him. Charles. He's a policeman. I said it could be them. David Robertson owns Dynamic Shot. His employees are 3 doors down. Why? Why are they here? Ask the hotel owner, did they come before or after I got here? He says, awfully weird they're here. Everywhere I go, there they are. We're in court right now. This is inappropriate. They get a key from the car dealer. I think I pulled Mike aside and I said, I think they're getting a key from the car dealer. Every car I have. They get in it. Sometimes I'll get in my car. The other day I got in my car. The seat was pushed back too far. Who did that? You forgot to put it back where I had it? Uh-huh. Stuff like that happens. There's gas is used up. Miles on it. Weren't there last time I was in it. So you peeping, you can see when I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping, you take off in my car. Because you get a key from the car dealer. Right? You've done it for years, haven't you? Uh-huh. Okay. Remember, the guys that are helping me told me, this Tulsa University police officer is going to chase you. What I could have done is I could have driven right next to him, right past him. He would have had to do a U-turn to chase me. But that's not what I did, is it? And I'm going to leave it at that, and you figure out the rest. But they're giving me a blow-by-blow. There he is, right there. He could see it. He could see him. Why do you suppose that is, Charles? Yeah. Okay. So, if you take off in my car, you don't think they know? You're peeping, so you know when I'm sleeping or doing something else, right? So you know when I wake up, we can take our car wherever and do whatever, right? Okay, just remember that we know that. And the rest of it, you can deal with at your criminal trial, okay? So, okay, so they want to go, well, we're not doing that, she's just crazy. Yeah, but you got a criminal trial you're about to hit. What day is he going to charge you and arrest you? Everybody's put pressure on him, especially the more cruel you guys get to me. People start you guys come on and hurry up and put these guys in jail. And they're like, there's stuff we can't talk about that we're not ready to do that yet. And then recently, we get the Natalie Holloway conversation. Well, our guys didn't even know that. Now we do. You fucked with my grade. That fucked some things up for you. Okay, so the guy's like, why didn't, how did, there's 4 people that knew, that have had the opportunity and a reason to ask me, how did you have that? Who told you this? Who gave you that information? Who gave you the puzzle? Who gave you the information? How'd you get that? And in 10 years, they've never once asked me, who gave you the information? How did you get that? How did you find out about that? People that we know you talk to. 2 of those people were Gene Mitchell and Travis Myers. Gene Mitchell was Mike's attorney. Travis Myers was the Florida State's attorney. And neither one, we're waiting. We had a prepared answer. In my deposition, it's kind of a sting-up. When I do a sting-up, there's certain things I'm not going to say because I'm waiting for the person to say it. Because if they don't say it, it's going to tell me everything I need to know. So these guys are asking a lot of questions about emails. And not one question about how did you know Mike was drugged before we even deposed the first responders. No one asked me that. Why do you suppose they didn't ask me? That's their case. Gene Mitchell and Travis Myers. That's their case. It is the murder trial of a cop. And nobody asked me. And I'm not going to volunteer things that I need to see the motivation of the person I'm talking to based on whether or not they're asking me the right questions or the wrong questions. The questions I got asked showed me they were asking me questions for Charles Perry, not the murder trial of Michael Neely for Chief Miller. Why did that happen, Charles? Why did you explain for Judy and you explain for Judge Egan or whoever else you explain for them, why is it that Travis Myers and Gene Mitchell never asked me, how did you know Mike Neely was drugged before we deposed first responders who then confirmed he was dying and treated with Narcan because what he was dying of was not being knocked out in a brawl. It was opioid overdose. How did you know that? In January 2020, because we did not depose first responders till May. Explain why they did not ask me that question, but they did ask me about emails, Charles. That has nothing to do with Mike Neely's trial for murder. It has everything to do with your bullshit that you're getting cyberbullied. How embarrassing. And how dare you do that to Officer Neely? No one's going to help you. No one's going to help you, Charles. We've told you before. We told you in March 2020. If you want help, you give back what you took, you fix what you broke, and you get the fuck out of Oklahoma. Get the fuck out of here. You take your little prissy pants dress and get the fuck out of here. Or they'll do it for you. That's your choice. Look how much evidence and information we've gotten since March 2020, because that's your choice. That's what you wanted. So our guys don't talk to dum-dum. They don't have time. They're busy. They're busy getting intel to do it for you. He's going to say it once, and that's it. So he's not calling you back. He knows you're calling around looking for him. He knows you call around looking for him to get me fired. He thinks that's hysterical. He goes, wow, this guy's off his nut, delusional. If he thinks he's going to call around and get a phone call back from me saying, sure, I'll fire her. He goes, if he only knew how many times he's talked to one of us and he didn't know he was talking to one of us, that's the time we would ask for a bribe if that's who we were. That's not who we are. There's a reason you're helping us and no one else. It takes a special kind of personality. A special kind of go-to guy. That's it. You're seeing things happen you've never seen before. You're dealing with things you've never had to deal with before. And I thank God every day. Despite the fact I had to sleep in my car, despite the fact I've gone days sometimes without food, despite the fact I've been separated from my family, you're threatening my kids now, I thank God every day that I'm the one that you say We've never seen this before. This has not happened before. I thank God every day I'm that one. Okay? You need to understand that's my mindset. It's different when you do it to me. No other victim knows they're trafficked before. I do. Hang on. Okay, so we have this, and he basically said, why did Tulsa police not sit down and just talk to her? Not one of them. No one took her evidence. No one. In fact, on the car accident, it was a hit and run. I told the desk sergeant or the desk clerk or whoever it was I was talking to, I believe this to be not just a hit and run, but it might be stalking related, and it might be witness tampering. I'm supposed to testify for a cop. My attorney said you need to have all this. It's not just a car accident. I don't believe. It could be, but it's your job to investigate. Your job is to take all the evidence and investigate, and you tell us. And she goes, that's not how we do things here. And I looked at her and I go, it is today. I shoved my papers under the glass, took off. You have to be shitting me with that. Not only did they not collect evidence properly, they refused to take what I gave them. So that's what this guy's. I can't rehab their fuck up. I can't do it. I don't know how to rehab. We don't know what this is, Mr. Perry. It's account warning. Probably. We're sure it's something you did. Okay. No one cares, actually. But anyways, okay, so that's the conversation we got today, Mr. Perry. Is this guy basically really upset with Tulsa police, and he's like, she has all this stuff before, so they can't really say she's crazy. Her GPA, while she's going through absolute hell, he's getting her kicked out of her home. He's getting her, starving her to death. She had to spend Christmas in her car by herself. No family member even texted her to see if she was alright. Her ex-husband's with her granddaughter. That's her granddaughter, not his. They did all that shit to her. And her grade is 3.6 still. Despite their best efforts to make her fail. You can't say she's crazy. That for somebody to be that mentally strong is unbelievable. So I can't say she's crazy. And then Tulsa police didn't collect shit. Not one of them just sat down and talked to her. Nobody. So now everybody's kind of pissed at them, because that's sloppy or corrupt, whichever. It's sloppy at best. Police work. So how do I rehab that? I can't rehab that. Can't go back and undo that. You sit people down and you talk to them. And you just talk. What happened? Tell me what happened. That's what Mike did. Mike Neely. And so it looks like her life was shit. It was kind of, they were making it bad. But then after she comes out for Mike, he didn't do this. This was in March 2020. He didn't do this. Boy, they made her life absolute awful. There's no way that's not retaliation. Absolutely, that's retaliation. And again, Tulsa police, nothing. Nothing. How do I rehab that? Because for the public, that's not acceptable. That should be beneath you. And I'm like, yeah. When this woman's telling me we don't take evidence, that's not how we do things here. Wow, it is today. Guess what? I was pretty much raised in a police department, ma'am. So it is what you do. You're a cop. I'm reporting a crime. And what is wrong with you? Who called you and told you to tell me that? David Robertson, Charles Perry, which one? Which one called you and told you to say that to me? I almost asked that question. Sometimes now, I've been pulled over so much, over nothing. Or they cause a reason. Take out her taillight so she's pulled over. And Lucky Miller complained about that. We're sick of them asking us to pull her over. We're sick of it. We got real crime to solve, Charles. We're busy. Why aren't you? Why the fuck aren't you busy? So, he complained about it. Anyways, it's getting to where I want to go. Which one called you and asked you to pull me over? Was it Calvin? We hear Bald Fat Calvin's the one that does that. Is it? Did you want to confirm that or deny that? Did they use my DoorDash app? Did you get a picture of me on your dash cam? Was the last guy I dropped food off, was that your buddy who got me on his doorbell camera? Because they're doing that too, and we know they're doing it. We've said it. Mr. Perry wants to come to Oklahoma where I live and have pictures taken of me just working. It's not illegal to drop off food. For DoorDash, is it? Or dance, if you're not doing something illegal at the dance club, is it? Or waitress. Is that illegal? No, it's not. So why are you getting pictures of me doing that? And then taking it into court and go, I'm not stalking her, see? I got pictures of her to show you, Judge. I'm not stalking her in Oklahoma, just working. What a fucktard. So, yeah, we can call you names. We can express our opinion of the bullying that you're doing to women, children, and cops. Charles, it's not okay. It's not fucking okay, dude. Or princess, what are you today? Gotta act like a man. Okay, so this is basically the complaint there. They sat down and had a meeting. What can we get her on? Can we get her on this? Can we get her on that? We gotta smear her. Yeah, they did that to my granddad too. And now nobody knows who they are. So, okay, so see, there's the Fabian puzzle. Right there. Nobody's asked me, who got that to you in jail? No one. 4 people had every reason in the world and all the opportunity in the world to ask me, who got that to you? How'd you get it? Not one question. Why is that? It's weird, Charles. Did you tell him not to? Okay, you're going to find that was a mistake. This is the McNamara email. It is to my ex-husband, dated October 29, 2015, telling people he's going to arrange a false arrest and coerce me. Now, if you notice in this, we don't say a damn thing about a conversation between Charles and Judge McNamara, do we? We thought many times of bringing that to light. Notice we've not commented at all as to whether or not Mr. Perry actually talked to Judge McNamara about this. Right now, the whole email is just about he's talked to someone about doing this. Right? You just throw people up on the stand. They go, Judge McNamara, just get up there and tell everybody that this never happened. And for her, it may not have. But she's not testifying to the truth of this, I guess. The testimony would need to be to dispute this email, correct? Am I confused? But the thing is we're saying Charles told somebody this is what he intended to do. To cause me harm in the state of Oklahoma where I lived and moved to get away from his harm. And the injury. And the loss of my home and my reputation. And my freedom. So, I've said it now 2-3 months before you actually did it. Now you get Judge McNamara on the stand and you go, Judge McNamara, we want you to testify that you and I never talked about doing this to her and her kid. So she says, okay, well, we never talked about doing this to her and her kid, and that might be true. But that's not what my email says, is it? My email has nothing at all to do with a conversation between Charles Perry and Judge McNamara. My email is a conversation between Charles Perry and another individual, and Charles Perry said, here's what I'm going to do to her. And it horrified that person, and they talked to us. They talked to us. So I have this McNamara email documenting that conversation. You were telling someone else what you were going to do, not Judge McNamara. If you called the Broken Arrow Police Department and you're telling you and Calvin, call Broken Arrow and have them pull her over. Because I think Tulsa police have run their course. It's looking bad right now. There's like 6 guys who pulled her over. Let's get Broken Arrow to do it today. When she's out door dashing, get her some orders down in Broken Arrow. Right, Calvin? Isn't that what y'all do? You and Sanjay set all that up? Okay. And I'm like, well, I told you so. We did say we've talked about this. This is what they do. It's illegal. Hacking is a crime. It's creepy. We find out before, not after. Right, Sanjay? Sanjay loves you, Charles. Loves you to death. So we get Calvin and Charles, or Charles and whoever, get Broken Arrow to pull her over today. And, or get Jinx to pull her over today. Or Bixby. Get her some orders out in Bixby. Get them to do it. Get Jinx to do it. Get her some orders out in Jinx. Get them to do it. Block off every other DoorDash zone so she has to go there or she doesn't eat. Right? Don't y'all do that? Hacking my DoorDash. DoorDash was not happy to find out their app's being used for organized crime. Not happy at all. Not the person that our guys talked to. Okay. So, anyway, then you throw Chief Berryhill on the stand or some guy from Broken Arrow. Well, they never called us and asked us to pull her over. Or Bixby or they didn't tell us to do that. That's not what we said either, is it? No, we did not. We did not say, Charles called Chief Berryhill and said, pull Cindy over. We're going to get her DoorDash orders over where you are. Can you get a guy to pull her over? That's not what we said at all. We didn't talk about a conversation between you and Broken Arrow PD. We had a conversation between you and Calvin. Berryhill wasn't there to see that, was he? Or that's examples. These are examples. So there's been a lot of that where Mr. Perry throws somebody on the stand and says, I want you to get up there and tell the judge and the grand jury or whoever that we didn't talk about that. That conversation didn't happen. And they might be telling the truth. They might not. Look what he's doing to me because I won't lie. I'm going days without food. I'm getting kicked out of my home. I'm getting everything everything I've worked for and have taken from me. I'm getting separated from my family. My family's getting on an emotional roller coaster, I'm told. We're going to do this to her and we're going to do that to her. And you tell her she has to leave the state and blah, blah, blah. Bully, 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 bully. And I'm going to hurt your kids. Okay, so everybody's watching all this happen. What do you think they're thinking? Why? We're going to do to you what we did to Mike Neely. We're going to do to you what we're doing to her. Or you cooperate with us. If anybody gets that kind of conversation, you're more than welcome to call me. Because you know what? They're too scared to talk to me to my face. They're trying to hide behind my family. They hide behind a computer. They hide behind a phone. They hide behind everybody else. Not one of those men are men enough to talk to me to my face and threaten me to my face. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. They know that I know they're going to lose millions by not delivering me, and you're not going to deliver me. They'll put you in jail first, my guys will. They don't care what Tulsa police says. They'll put you in jail because you're tampering with their witness. You're coercing their witness, Charles. The guys who gave me this right here. No one has asked me how I got that. Never. Gene Mitchell, Travis Myers, and there's two other people, I'm not going to name names, that should have asked me about it and could have asked me about it and never did. In 10 years. Never did. Okay? 8 years. The date is 2015. 8 years. Never have they asked me, how did you get that email? Who gave that to you? No one. With the information, the content of it. No one has asked. It's unbelievable. I'm like, wow. That'd be the first question I would ask. Who gave that? How'd you get that? Who's helping you? They haven't said it. Never asked. Who got you that puzzle? These are texts to Fabian, the guy that I worked for in Dallas, Jaguars, dated October 12th, 2015. This got to me in jail in 2016. This is dated 10/29/2015. Not once have they said, how did you get that? You don't have this, Charles, and you don't have one of these. You don't even have a Fabian puzzle. A Fabian. Okay, Fabian intersects with the word hope. See that? On the right, here's the word boo, denoting the fear Charles causes. It's also a private joke between one of the cops helping me and me, going way back. This word sad, you're causing fear and sadness. And here's Charles is depicted by the word me, selfish little butt-in. Always a wannabe, never wanted. Just told on. Just ratted out. Every day. Right? Fabian and hope intersect. What are the chances, probability, math, that Fabian's name would end up with the word hope, not just in the same book, not just on the same page, but intersecting just like that? It's not another name. Probability-wise, your name's more common than the name Fabian. But his name's on that. It's very specific to me. And not in 8 years did anybody ask me, two people especially, that could have and should have, how'd you get that? They haven't asked. So we're like at a loss. There's no political thing mentioned here at all. 5 years before, I could have anticipated that you were going to go into court and claim to be the victim of a political vendetta. And we're like, you have shitting us with that. This is the date. Nothing political here, Charles. It's all about stalking. Stalking is a felony, bitch. Yep. And all these emails, again, I'm not mad about a political anything. You don't matter. I know you so badly want to, but you just don't. You just fucking don't matter, right? This right here indicates you premeditated the murder of Chief Miller. How'd you know Mike had to be you Hansel and Gretel Mike? That's your code word. When you lure someone to a place where you can hurt them. We can't do Little Red Riding on Cindy. That means use her family to hurt her, right? Use her family. Little Red Riding Hood, wasn't that what that was about? Yeah. Have her family call her out for a dinner, and then we'll pounce. Okay, this indicates that you premeditated the murder of Chief Miller. How'd you know Mike had to be begged to go to Pensacola because he said no? And then we coerced. And then he went, go Mike, it'll be fine. And you lied to him. And then he went and you tried to kill him. And when he didn't die, you had him false arrested. The same thing you did to me. Same thing you did to me. Right? Not a mark on the guy. My kid calls me the other day. This has been up for a long time. My kid calls me the other day and threw a fit and wants his picture taken off that. When we get around to it, we will. Right now, it's fair use, and it's not up to you. The police that have put this out, Dennis, that's up to them. Okay? You're gonna have to. You put it on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever it is. So your name is Dennis Ortiz. There you get the credit. It's your Snapchat or Instagram. You made it public. It's fair use. Get over it. Act like a man, okay? I'm not putting up with your shit. I'm not going to. I don't know who told you to call me and say that. I will say this, Mr. Perry. My son was not half as mad about this as he was you being in his life. His voice, and I think somebody pointed that out. His voice was aggravated that his picture's being used here forensically to show the difference between Mike Neely and him, and the two people been in a fight. Nobody died in this fight. Dennis got whacked a couple times, and everybody went home safe and sound. And you can see that he was in a fight. But this man, nothing. Supposedly hit Chief Miller's head back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so hard his head came off his body and he died. And look at him, not a mark on him. So, what I said is, my kid's like, I want you to take my picture off there, and I'm like, I'll get the guy to do it. When we have time, we'll do it. It's not going to be a priority, and actually, it's not up to you or me. It's going to be up to the cops that are doing all this. It's a police investigation, and you're not going to obstruct it. You put this out, so I'm sorry. You put it out. We gave you credit. Your name's Dennis Ortiz. This is your Snapchat or your Instagram, so you get the credit. It's not copyright. It's fair use. You made it public. That's that. Okay, these guys have kept you safe in more ways than you'll ever know. So I wouldn't complain if I were you. But when his voice got angry, I want nothing to do with Charles Perry. I'm sick and tired of having to deal with the Charles Perry thing. I don't want anything to do with it. That's when he got outraged. Mr. Perry, you're a burden and an imposition to people who want nothing to do with you. You've not lost a fucking thing. I've lost my home. He lost his home. Okay? I've lost my reputation. Don't contact my family the fuck again. Because the guys that gave me this information that Mike was drugged, and that puzzle, and that email about McNamara, are about to kick your ass so hard, you won't get up. That's it. You're done. Because you were told to leave us alone. Okay? No one's bothering you. You're getting caught bothering me. And everybody's fucking sick of you. So we get the help with information and you do not. You don't. You never have, you never will. It's 10 years of this, Charles. I don't like you. I don't care what you think, whack job. I don't like you. I don't like you. And your delusion is sickening. All of you. It's sickening and it's embarrassing. So, we've asked you to stop. And when you didn't, look at that. I'm going to have her kicked out of her home. That was Calvin. We got Calvin's name out of that. Get her back to Texas where we can do more murder. Yeah, I mean, this just goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, he was drugged. See, I said it in March. Yeah, and that was confirmed. There's no injuries listed in the arrest report either, by the way. He has a red swollen right hand. Well, here's the thing, though. Look at the IV in the red swollen right hand. That's why it's red and swollen. If you beat somebody to death, you're not going to have a little bruising, a little red swelling. Your hand's going to be fucking fucked up. So, I mean, come on. Okay, so, the first responders did say at the bottom there, the date is May 18, 2020. It says, what is Narcan? They're talking about it here. We gave him Narcan. He was dying. He was dying. And I guess somebody said, I'm concerned about her testimony, that she's basically speaking for Chief Miller. What was he thinking as he was dying? Did he know he was dying? Was he thinking of his wife and children as they beat him and beat his head back and forth? And why would everybody not think of that? What if it was you? What if it was you that happened to? What if you died in the line of duty and you were treated like shit and your family told you died in a drunken brawl? Can you imagine? I can't imagine. I can't imagine what kind of monsters would allow that lie to be perpetrated and do nothing. So the guy was concerned. I'm concerned that her description of that murder is very, very compelling. And it's a whole lot more than, oh yeah, he was beat to death. She's explaining, she's speaking for Chief Miller. What was he thinking as he died? Did he know he was dying? Was he thinking of his wife and kids? Would you be? Where's TPD? TPD not one time sat down and talked to Cynthia. Either when she made a report with them or after she pointing out what happened. This is a murder of a cop. Where are you? Where are you? We don't leave one behind. We don't do it. We fucking do not do it. I don't know what kind of people you are that you can sleep at night. I don't know. I don't know how you sleep at night. I can't. There's not a day that goes by that I don't pray for them and think about them and be like, God, justice. He's in jail and he didn't do it. I tried so hard to testify for him. I tried so hard. I filed motions to intervene because I was supposed to testify and they wouldn't let me. I was deposed. And that was bullshit. Again, nobody asked me, how did you know he was drugged before we took these depositions? Charles, when you contact me, we always get more information. Stop contacting me, you weird fuck. Stop it. I don't care what kind of whack job shit you think. I don't want to hear it. We're all sick of hearing it. You're bothering me, so stop. It's typing in my phone. Is Mike a leak? What did I just say? I just said it. I'm not told that. And fuck you for asking me. We get more intel out of you asking those questions. Like, how dare you? You got a lot of nerve. I will never help you. You need to direct your questions to your attorney. It is highly inappropriate for you to contact me. Stop contacting me and stop bothering my family. You pussies, you want to tell me I gotta leave Oklahoma, blah, blah, blah. Do it to my fucking face. Don't hide behind my family. Don't have my son call me. You want something done, you don't like something, you fucking take your dress off in your pink little panties and you tell me to my face. Don't you dare use my family again. Don't use my family again. Charles, when you contact me, we always get more. You just asked again. Is your family illegal? What did I just say? I just said it. I'm not told that. You got a lot of nerve to ask me for help. Fuck you. You're gonna pay for that, believe me. For that question that you just asked me. I just said I'm not told who leaks are. And I don't care. And fuck you that you think I would help you. Fuck you that you think I would help you. You are off your nut. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Okay, so... Okay, so I mean, we got a lot here. It's just... This has just gone on and on and on and on. But there's a lot of emails that Mr. Perry has misrepresented. Oh, she said we did this, and she said we did that, and I'm like, well, my email's not actually doesn't say that. And I guess they were told you can't just throw people on the stand this time with this victim, and make people witnesses to testify whatever. Just say this, just say that. Not this one. She'll pick it apart. First of all, and you're having people testify to something they didn't see. They didn't see you tell Calvin how Broken Arrow could pull her over. Barry Hill didn't see that. She's not saying that you called Barry Hill, Chief Barry Hill. She's saying you told Calvin or somebody how Broken Arrow pull her over. Or Sanjay. Right? Okay. So, this is the law says if you want a protective order, you have to file a police report. They knew that because my first one was denied because I forgot the police report. I did file it. I had the case number and the officer's name, and the judge wouldn't take that. He said I have to have the actual report. Now, Mark, somebody said, you better watch Cindy because it's possible that they did that on purpose. Maybe, maybe not. There's that. Okay, I'm getting text. Yes, we gave you arsenic. Mike was given opioids. I'm giving arsenic. We don't die. We file a police report on the 21st, see? Regarding an incident that happened on the 16th. And on the 29th, I'm thrown in jail for filing a false police report in retaliation for Mr. Perry's job as a senator in Texas. These charges were filed in Texas. At this point, I'm in Oklahoma. And I guess not so long ago, Matt Powell said, Cindy's in violation of Texas Penal Code, blah, blah, blah. And the guy goes, stop. She's not been in Texas for 9 years. By the way, you're always in Oklahoma too, so none of you are in Texas when all this stuff's happening. You're coming to Oklahoma where she lives and doing crap to her. She's got the losses, not you. You're getting told on, okay? That's your problem. Yeah. When Perry contacts me or invades my privacy or takes from me or causes a loss for me or my family, we always get a whole lot more intel. So he likes that or he'd stop. Yeah, it's 9 years of this every day. Okay, so TPD doesn't call me back until the 15th. That's obstruction of justice. I lost my evidence. They did not properly collect it. It was destroyed because I was by physical force prevented and delayed from talking to TPD. But at no time have they talked to me and properly collected my evidence. There should have been a blood test to confirm or rule out arsenic poisoning. What if it wasn't arsenic? What if it was something else that was making me sick? I was throwing up. I went and bought charcoal just so I could go to work and not die. Look. Charcoal is what they used to give people in the emergency room when they drug overdosed. Pump their stomach full of charcoal. So I'm like, I gotta go to work. I have a kid to take care of. So maybe I'll get some charcoal. That ought to help. Also, I have my rapid metabolizer. So I take one sip of anything, I can tell something's wrong pretty quick. So a lot of times I didn't drink the whole thing. I drank enough to make, that I knew something was wrong. And Mr. Powell's always, well, we need her whereabouts. Where do we? Can we confirm that's her today? He said that one. Jesus, get a life, Mr. Powell, Mr. Roberts, all you people, Okay, so what does this say? Sexual assault includes voyeurism. Charles, you never had my consent. You never will. You owe me $1,000 a day for watching me in the privacy of my home. You're using my body for your profit and entertainment, and you are a sick little fuck. It's illegal for a reason. Okay, plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. And this is an attempt to collect a debt. Okay, this is Officer Neely's case where I've Sherlocked the whole thing. And yes, pointed out some things about the way Lucky died that should have been pointed out a long time ago by a lot of people. His should have been pointed out by Gene Mitchell. I don't know what to say to Gene Mitchell. Okay, this is my deposition right here. Anybody can listen to it. This is my doctor. She said Mr. Perry caused an escalation, and sometimes it escalates more than I can ignore. Right there, at the end of it. See? He's gonna bother you until you pay attention, and that's what you've got with Charles, right there. Sometimes he'll escalate more than you can ignore, and she also wrote letters down here. So when everybody goes, we gotta say she's crazy, gotta make her look crazy. Well, not though. That's the thing. We said it before, not after. Okay, this was the solicitation for prostitution. Right here. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we always get more. You must love that. Okay. Now he's asking, is Pinto a leak? What did I just say? Mr. Blankenship, Richard, Dickey, can you guys sit Mr. Perry down and remind him what I said about leaks? I'm done. I'm done repeating myself. Every time he contacts me to ask, though, we get more intel because it pisses our guys off. We told you not to contact her, you dum-dum. Okay. So he's solicited right there. I'm like, yuck, he makes my skin crawl. Okay, so there's that. You can listen to the recording. And note for the record, Mr. Perry has asked me now, is my family a leak? Is Pinto a leak? And Mike Neely. Okay? And what did I say? I'm not told who leaks are, don't care. It's a need to know, and I don't need to know how the information is obtained. I don't care. So if somebody would get a chalkboard and finger paints and a puppet and help Mr. Perry understand, I'm not told that. When you ask me, though, it pisses everybody off. You got a lot of nerve. You got a lot of fucking nerve. That you asked me that. You think I would help you. Okay, so Richard, Dickey, all you guys, Blankenship, Sanjay, Calvin, who's bald and fat, please explain to Mr. Perry that I'm tired of repeating myself, and that when he continues to contact me anyway, we always get more intel, like I have your names. Okay, then we got the disclaimer. Okay, I assert my right to equal protection in the application of Title 18 in the United States Code. This right here is what cops are supposed to do, TPD, when someone files a police report on stalking or car vandalism. They speak to that as well. This is produced by the National Stalking Resource Center. They got expert police on here's how you treat people. Citizens who trust you to keep them safe. Police are supposed to keep something bad from happening to you. Watch the Netflix movie Unbelievable, of what happens when a police department does not do their job right and a police department does do their job right, TPD. It's your reputation. Your name is on your work. Use of technology to stalk is how stalkers hack these days and use voyeurism to stalk. It's easy. They can, especially if you have money like Charles. Okay, so here's my disclaimer. Also, we've documented, this will probably be posted just right up under here. I'm busy, I have other shit to do. So it'll be on the same page when it's posted. But Mr. Perry gets off on ruining people's lives. He just gets a sick thrill. We don't know. We don't know why anybody would do that. We're all busy. We don't have time. So we don't know why he's not. Anyways, this is documented. Yeah, see, there's the unbelievable. It's a really good show, and it's based on a true story. And guess what? When the police failed, there were more victims happened. More people were traumatized. TPD. When you don't do your job, why did they not just talk to her? This guy said. They didn't collect her evidence properly or at all. I can't rehabilitate their reputation because they did that to her. And no one talked to her. Why didn't they just talk to her? And then we wouldn't look so ignorant. We wouldn't look like this. Like we're just ignorant, factually ignorant. We all, if anybody gets to know me and the guys helping me, there's a big thing we have a problem with. Factual ignorance. Know your shit, because we do. You better know your shit. Or go-to guys. Why aren't you? Okay, so I think that's it. But we document the threats. Mr. Perry threatened my kids. I'm gonna hurt your kids. Don't you love your kids? That's why he actually typed that in my phone, Mr. Consueler. So if you know Dennis, you know Tristan, if anything happens to them, that's gonna be a problem and a big one. And why do you gotta threaten people, Charles? Aren't you busy? We're all busy. Why aren't you? Okay, when you cause a problem for me, my guy said in March 2020, Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You don't contact her or her family. Don't do it. Go get busy. And she's not to be broke. And if she is, we'll make you pay. We're going to get intel. And then we're going to use the intel to lock you up for the rest of your life. That's your choice. Or leave everybody the fuck alone. Go be normal. We work. We're busy with family. Why aren't you? And fuck you. I'm never going to help you. Richard, Dickey, whoever. Explain to Mr. Perry what it means when I say I'm not told who leaks are. And I don't care. It's a need to know, and I don't need to know that. I'm done repeating myself.
Will, you talk to me for 2 minutes?
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happens?
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
What
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave
happened?
me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
About
Stop
stress.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
No. Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes?
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happens?
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me
happened?
alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
About
Stop
stress.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes?
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happens?
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me
happened?
alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.